Hello students and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing once again something that Donald Trump has said, and that is going to have a huge repercussions not just on India but on the geopolitics as well. So Trump has now done something bigger than what he has already done. So what he is saying is that he is urging the European Union to impose 100% tariffs on China and India. Now this comes after Trump himself has imposed 50% tariff on India, 25% as reciprocal tariff, and another 25% tariff which is a penalty tariff because we are taking oil from Russia. So that has already happened, but Trump is still not satisfied and wants European Union also to impose high tariffs to the tune of 100% on China as well as India. So we'll understand, does this hold any water? Will European Union actually impose these kind of tariffs, and if yes, what repercussions will it have on India and India's relationship with the US as well as Russia also? So now this 100% urging of 100% of tariff to European Union is coming at the back of the Russia-Ukraine war that is ongoing since 2022. So now how is this war related? Simply because since this war has been there, basically USA has imposed sanctions. USA has imposed sanctions on Russia, primary as well as secondary. Under primary sanction, USA says that it will not trade with Russia at all, and under secondary sanction, it is saying that no country should trade with Russia. If any country trades with Russia, USA is going to impose tariffs on them, so on and so forth. So what this is how it is related. Now, even after imposing primary and secondary sanctions, India has still traded with Russia. Why? Of course, one reason is because Russia is considered to be India's all-weather friend, and at the same time, second thing is Russia is giving us crude oil on the cheap. We are getting crude oil at around $65 per barrel, which is way cheaper than what is the market rate that is prevailing right now. So that benefits us, that lowers our input cost as well, and also aligns us with Russia as an all-weather friend. So these are the reasons we are still dealing with Russia. At the same time, we also have a de-hyphenation policy with respect to international relations, wherein what India does with Russia has nothing to do with what Russia and USA's relationship will be like. So it is a completely detached thing, and we are a sovereign country, so we can dictate with whom we want to trade and whom we don't want to trade. However, still USA is not holding it back. Even after 50% tariffs, is asking European Union also to impose further tariffs. So we'll see what can be the repercussions of that. Before that, a small announcement with respect to the new batches. Very small batches of just 40 students are starting at Legacy IAS Academy. Now once you enroll, these are the dates of these batches. Once you enroll with us, there are certain advantages. Some of them are one-on-one mentorship and doubt solving session with the experts of UPSC civil services examination. Your regular interactions will be ensured over here. Batch size is of course quite small. Daily answer writing practice will be there, as well as test series for prelims and mains. Now at current affairs, we have a 360-degree approach wherein the entire week's current affairs will be covered through the live classes, thus taking care of your entire current affairs requirement. So this is going to be your one-stop solution for UPSC preparation. If you want to enroll with us, you can directly download our app where provision for enrollment is there, or log on to our website www.legacyIAS.com or call on the numbers listed over here. So let's continue with respect to the proposal that USA has put forward. It has said that European Union should impose 100% tariffs on China and India. What is the reason? Reason is that both are major buyers of Russian oil. Yes, so India has bought around 88 million tons of Russian crude oil, or crude oil from Russia, whereas China has bought over 100 millions of crude oil from Russia. So if tariffs are imposed, if European Union imposes tariff, that may nudge India and China to lower or not buy crude oil from Russia to avoid the tariffs. So if we stop buying crude oil from Russia, that is going to reduce Russia's revenue and hence weaken Russia, and the Russia-Ukraine war can come to a standstill. That is the distant dream that is there. But what about the US-European Union dynamics? Will European Union pay attention or implement what US is saying? Probably they can. So US basically has indicated the willingness to impose similar tariffs only if European Union cooperates. Now, where is this coming from? See, first things first, USA on India has imposed 50% tariff, but asking European Union to impose 100% tariff. Plus, on as far as China is concerned, USA had increased its tariff to 145%, but China also retaliated with 125% tariff. So there has been a peace clause in effect as of now. It started for up to 90 days, but now it is there up to November 2025. But USA is saying here, so the tariffs on China is back to 20-25% as it was previously. But USA is saying if European Union imposes 100% tariffs on India and China, USA will also impose the same amount of tariff on them. However, European Union has a different approach in this matter. European Union's current approach is that of sanctions and not of tariffs, meaning that European Union will sanction the country, as in not trade with the country, rather than imposing imposing tariffs on them. So if European Union were to abide by Trump's directives, Trump's statement, they will be required to potentially shift their strategy, which is quite difficult because European Union strategy is decided based on all the member countries of European Union. Right, so that is what would be required to be done. Now, what is the India angle over here? Now, India has been singled out for tariff increase because of its continued Russian crude oil imports, and we had mentioned this previously also, because on India, Trump had imposed 50% tariff, but no such similar tariff were imposed on China. With China, they did have a trade war, but the peace clause was going on during the trade war. So the tariffs were taken back and no additional tariff was imposed on China by USA. Whereas on India, it has imposed the tariffs, as a result of which India is being singled out over here. And we are pointing out to the 25% tariff that is being imposed on India because we are purchasing Russian crude oil. The other 25% was to lower the deficit, but 125% was because we are trading with Russia. So is China, but tariff was imposed only on India. And India-Russia oil trade is basically seen by USA as a lifeline for Russian economy. Means if we don't buy crude oil from Russia, Russian economy is going to get dismantled. It is going to, of course, definitely get weaker as a result. But at the same time, China is also buying. So basically, both of them you should impose, not single out India only. While imposing tariffs themselves, US is singled out India, but to European Union, they are asking to impose tariffs on both India and China. However, you will see that Trump has contradicted a lot during all these happenings. For example, while saying that European Union should impose 100% tariffs on India, on the very same day, Trump posted saying that USA and India are working to reduce trade barriers. So on the one hand, he's talking about that USA and India are working for what? For reducing trade barriers. At the same time, he is urging European Union to impose more tariffs. He also mentioned that he is looking forward to talks with our honorable Prime Minister, but at the same time asking European Union to do that, to increase the tariffs. So this clearly shows the dual track approach, that is of engagement on one side and pressure on the other side, the double diplomacy that is being seen from the Trump's end. The global implications for this could be India's exports, or global as well as Indian implications is India's export to European Union and US will reduce, global oil markets would fluctuate, and the geopolitics of the world will be fluctuating or becoming dynamic, because India would have to balance its relationship with respect to USA and Russia. We will have to balance this dynamics going forward. Thank you.